On a morning I like to bring this chair over in this corner because this flat is directly facing east-west and this is the east window. So in the middle of winter I only get the sun. Well, at this time of the year it rises on that tree, just behind that tree. And it's now almost lunchtime, 12 o'clock, and the sun is just starting to disappear. But in the middle of winter, you see where those garages are, that's where the sun will actually rise. When I say rise, it doesn't really get above those garages, maybe where my finger is. So I've got to make use of as much sunlight coming into the flat as I can. So I actually have a mirror strategically placed there. I've got one on the wall above the fire. So that's to reflect any light and heat into the flat. I've got another mirror there to reflect the fairy lights, and this one just catches it's actually a piece of cardboard with some tin foil on to reflect any light that comes in. I pull the curtain as far back as I possibly can. Got my little fairy lights there charging. And any sunlight that comes through. So just have a look and see which I've got no south facing windows whatsoever. So just be aware of where the sun rises and where the sun sets in winter and make use of it if you possibly can. I've just taken 2 of these lettuces out of my microgreens to grow them on, but I had an idea while I was doing it. I thought, what about growing a few lettuces and then potting them on into small pots, and by 3 or 4 weeks time you can, if you're going to visit somebody, you can take them a living salad. But I'm also these lentils that I've got here, green lentils, August 2021. But I'm just going to put just a few in a jar, and I'm going to sprout them. Can you see? Not many. Let's have a look. There we are. Not many in there. We'll just pop some water in them. This is cold water, even though it's in the kettle. Let them soak overnight, and I'll show you step by step how they develop. So this is day 1. Can you see they're just starting to sprout? Every morning I rinse them in cold water, and if it's really, really cold water, I might actually just put a tiny little bit of warm water to it and then rinse them. Just make the water tepid. But it's now Tuesday. I was going to show you every day, but these are old seeds and I think they've taken a little bit of time to sprout. So this is now Tuesday, so on a morning I rinse them with water and on a night I rinse them with water. They're not quite ready yet. I'll show you when they are. This is day 6, and as you can see, these lentils are well and truly sprouted. I've popped them in some deep water because you'll see that the green shells float away and you can separate them. But we've got some lovely sprouted lentils that can be used in salads or in stir fries. And those have taken 6 days, and you can do this all winter long. So it's well worth having a go because you've got fresh salad for pennies, really. Called at Wetherby, and somebody had put a large crate of Bramley apples free to help yourself, and people were. I got 1 or 2 and I went on to Morrison's. I think the days of finding things for 10p are well and truly over. I did see these cherries. What were they, £1.05? and the oranges. Although as I was walking round, this woman saw the oranges in my basket and she said, "Oh, have they got some oranges reduced?" I gave her them because I'd got the apples. But I did help myself to one of these lovely pies. And as I went further on and I went to Sainsbury's had really been reducing a lot of things on their shelves. And good reductions, look, £3 to 75p. And the Bulldog range was reduced. Some of it from £12 down to £2.50. And then again I got these rejuvenating sheet masks, facials, and they'd been £1 and they were down to 20p. So I picked 2 of those up. And I also saw this solid shampoo wash. Now this had been £7 and it was down to 25p. Onto the produce section. And again, I mean, I'm going at the normal time that I usually go and things just aren't being reduced. Here as well. Not a lot reduced. There's more reduced actually on the shelves when you look round. I went to the freezer section and they'd got packs of chicken reduced from £3.50 to £1.75 there. And that from £2.75 to £2. And they'd got these 2 frozen cod line down to £1.19. I did pick that up. But actually popped it back later on and changed my mind. Burgers were reduced. This is what I changed my mind to. Vegetarian range reduced as well, £3.20 to 50p. Only half the cherries made it home and the pie didn't. I put the fish back and actually got those minted lamb burgers because they are taste the difference ones. Because sometimes if you get frozen burgers they can actually be a bit fatty. But we'll try those and see. I picked up one of those Barber Club solid wash shampoo bars. That had been £7 down to 25p. I also picked up the Bulldog eye roll on. These 2 are nice as a gift for Christmas. And I picked up 2 of these rejuvenating sheet masks. What were they? 20p. I actually gave one to my cousin. So we're both going to look gorgeous. And I just got some olives that I tend to I post these to somebody who lives out of the country. And don't often see this, and I'm not fond of cinnamon. If you saw my winter tonic that I make, I always make it just with the honey and blackberries and elderberries. I will be adding some nutmeg to it, but I prefer freshly grated nutmeg, and you don't often see whole nutmeg, and those were only 95p. And to tell you the truth, they last for years. That's from Sainsbury's, but it says Sainsbury's on it. But these were a real bargain. I'm really impressed with these Taste the Difference lamb burgers. There's hardly any fat come out of them. I've cut it in half so that it cooks quicker. But they were reduced from £4 to £1, and there's 4 in there. So this is a brunch, 11 o'clock. But that works out 25p for my breakfast. Well, brunch. Excellent.